Hi guys, welcome back. We are now getting into Champion Select. This is the third game between Rain and Denial EU. So we are looking at Champion Select. As I say, I'm Spuddington, joined once again by Metas.
Hey Spud, hey viewers, indeed we are into the third game. This time around I'm actually going to be watching from the stream, so I'm going to take more of a backseat here because obviously I'm going to be behind you. Regardless though, 2-0 so far to Rain, against Rain I should say, completely the wrong way around, against Rain. And you know, a lot of people, including ourselves, were expecting Denial to win this one pretty comfortably. The last game though looked a bit more shaky from them.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like Rain was ever in a position to storm the game and take it completely their way, but they were definitely not so far behind that they were out of contention. Not for a very, very long time into that game, and they also pulled a couple of clever plays, getting themselves a Baron and getting themselves back in. Of course, though, that may have been their spike. That may have been their really good game where they matched up against Denial slightly below their opponents, but maybe that was a sign of things to come, and we will be seeing, obviously, fairly shortly. Bans are coming in. Nidalee, Evelynn, Lulu, Kha'Zix, and Jack so far.
Alright, so nothing too huge there out of the banning phase, and we've already seen Jax once in this game. We've already seen Kha'Zix and Lulu as well, so obviously just want no part of any of those. Sixth ban is going to be Rise. Again, Babunia crushed with it in the first game, so totally understand why they would not want him to be playing that champion again.
And this is one of the powers of first pick right now. Because Jax and Rise both have essentially the power to be completely dominant in top lane. Like, you can put them against almost any matchup and they'll come out really, really well, really, really strong, and then have the potential to carry the game on top of that. You can't really ignore either of those picks. But what can you do? You can ban out one of them, but then the enemy will first pick the other, or you can leave both open, except then they'll first pick Rise, who counters Jax. So you basically have very little choice in Rain's shoes, except to pick to ban both of those away, and that's what they've chosen to do here.
Well, I can see Thresh has been locked in alongside the Aatrox, so that's a pretty interesting pick from Warrior at top.
It is. But he was starting to see a resurgence, remember. He was starting to see a couple of picks in the LCS. He was getting picked more and more and more as time went by to counter a couple of matchups. He actually does okay against Rise, even. But then he hit that problem where he was kind of banned from competitive play because he had a bug where sometimes his W heal would proc every 2 hits rather than every 3, which obviously put his sustain completely through the roof. And as a result, he was just banned out of all games until they fixed the bug. They have now fixed the bug, though, so maybe he'll start to see another resurgence.
Yeah, indeed. And so far we've seen Warrior running both Irelia and also Jax at the top lane. So this is going to be his third consecutive champion that he's going to pick up, and it's going to be quite interesting to see what Denial EU are going to go for to play off against that one. Xin was also locked in, so this time Kikis is not going to be able to run Xin in the jungle, but Lee Sin is left open for the first time in this best of 5 and will get insta-locked in from Kikis, and this is a champion he loves to play from the jungle.
Yeah, super, super scary. Didn't go for the Xin this time. Obviously, that was taken away, and I'm actually a little bit curious as to what their plan is going to be here, because they picked a very aggressive early ganking jungler in the form of Lee Sin. They picked an okay lane to gank for. Thresh Jinx is pretty solid, but it's not Lucian Thresh. It's not going to have super high damage, and you're not going to pick Varus. Don't lie to me. That would be deceptive. Heimerdinger, though, is a possibility. Okay, they're just flicking through champions at the moment. So right now, feels like if you want to go with a Lee Sin, you really do want to pick aggressive lanes gank for. Alternately, though, it could be a Lee Sin top against Aatrox, because he can do pretty well in that matchup. Either one of those is an option, and if they pick J4, that's just going to be really confusing.
Yeah, that is true. It's not a guaranteed Lee Sin in jungle. It's quite an ambiguous pick, but they're hovering over the Jarvan and Karthus as well. Have either of those been locked in just yet, Spud?
Not as of yet. They're still hovering over both of them. If they go for Jarvan, it's almost interchangeable with Lee. They both have very similar styles in the lane and in the jungle. Jarvan is a little bit less reliable in terms of his kill potential. They switched it up at the last second, switched over to Elise there, so maybe they're going to be showing Rain how that's done this game, but certainly does signal here, probably Elise in top, although Elise top is also something we have seen.
Yeah, again, it's fairly ambiguous. I'm just curious as to what the last pick is going to be, though, from Rain, because that may... I mean, right now, it's possible that Denial still haven't made their mind up as to which character is going to go where, and depending on what this pick is going to be, may very well sway their opinion. So we're just going to have to wait and find out. 30 seconds to go. I can see they're hovering over the Kassadin. Have they gone for it so far?
No, they're still flicking through. They've gone through Katarina, they've gone through Kassadin. They've actually locked in LeBlanc now. So, going to be a much safer lane for them. And now I guess we get to answer the age-old question, which there was an argument between Froggen and High about. Does Karthus counter LeBlanc? Because a lot of people would say no, because LeBlanc can assassinate him. But there is an interesting argument to be made that Karthus can just push her into tower and keep such long range, she can never really burst him out.
Yeah, it's all going to be down, I have to feel, to his Q, his lay waste. If you're very good and a very competent Karthus player and you're able to anticipate where LeBlanc is going to be and you constantly land lay wastes, then yes, you can absolutely poke her in lane. And it's difficult for LeBlanc to go all in as well, because then you have the Wall of Pain comes down, suddenly in a very scary position. So I think it really comes down to the execution, Spud, honestly, as to how the mid lane is going to go here. If Digger makes mistakes, which we've seen a couple times in the previous 2 games, he could get hard punished, especially when you consider there's a Lee Sin firing out of the jungle, because Babunia's got a Elise, so I'm assuming that's Elise at top.
It does look like it, so we will probably be seeing that Elise top in just 2 or 3 minutes there. We are on the delay timer now, guys, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back, just going into a quick break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are on the Rift, as you can see, and we are in game Rain versus Denial. 2-0 to Denial so far.
Yeah, there is a big uphill mountain to climb here for Rain eSports, but they are definitely looking to try and make some plays happen. They've gone for another fresh slate in this game. And speaking of which, they're actually going in, flashing in onto Super Race S, but forced to flash away themselves.
Flash for flash, so even trade there. That will obviously mean both lanes are more easily gankable, and there's no real advantage to be gained on either side of that, because I guess maybe it's actually a disadvantage to Rain there, if you think about it in some ways. They may well push out a little bit harder since they have the stronger early game AD carry. That's a very minor one, but maybe it will become important. So, we do see an invade coming in from Kikis, sitting in the enemy jungle, and Babunia finds Warrior. Don't really see he's going to achieve anything here.
Nope, there's not a great deal that he can do in this situation. However, he's getting information, which is pretty important for the rest of his team. You can see that Kikis is by the red buff, so they are looking to try and steal this one away. Whereas on the flip side, actually, Rain are happy enough to just secure their blue. So if Lee does manage to take this red, he could end up coming out ahead, although that being said, he's not really going to get a leash.
So, well, Lee Sin's pretty strong. He doesn't need a leash per se. Should be okay to just push this out. To take that away himself. Well, it does look like he's going to get it as well, since there's no one to contest. So, the only disadvantage, obviously, of leashing here, though, for Chewed Up and Rain in general, is that they're going to get to lane a little bit later, and that will cost them. They're going to get pushed in now by the weaker early AD carry. They're going to have to either spend mana to push out themselves or just accept being pushed into tower.
Yeah, now we're going to find out, we were speaking about this in the champion select between NIQ and Digger, as to which of these champions was going to come out ahead. And I'm going to be very interested to see, because alongside everything else, there's quite a bit of kill potential there from the junglers as well, especially on Karthus. Karthus is a very immobile mid laner. If Xin can get in close proximity and they can land the Eternal Chains, then there is a very real possibility of NIQ getting snowballed against.
Yeah, that's definitely true. It's a dangerous matchup, which is possibly why things like this are happening. The close up there, getting the silence down, and that's obviously something you've got to bear in mind. Is it wise for Karthus to come in range to get QW'd by LeBlanc? Probably not. Lay Waste should outrange the Sigil of Silence. Nutri may be about to be found, though. Kikis does get the Q across, but he does flash out, and he will be okay.
Yeah, correction, ethereal chains is what I was going for. I don't know what in the hell happened there.
I don't know what you even said.
I think it's an Eternal, and I was like, what? What even is Eternal? Yeah, maybe I was going for the Infernal Chains, but that just isn't even close.
Infernal Chains!
I guess it would be if you're on the receiving end. This is not a very happy place to be, but it is Ethereal Chains is what I was looking for. But regardless, though, in mid, you did see that Digger, now and again, he's just darting in, putting down a bit of damage, darting back out again. And that's where LeBlanc really does excel. But actually going in here, very aggressive.
Yeah, indeed, and NIQ has been ignited. The exhaust is not enough to keep him alive here. Auto attack and the flash out from Digger gets himself out of range. But Kikis, well, he's not really in position here. He has gotten back to the tower, but 1 Q would be enough if he can get it.
Definitely would be. The question is, though, is he going to be able to land it? It's gone in. It's not going to happen. Smart play from Digger, just hiding behind his minions. And on top of that as well, even if Lee Sin had have landed the Q, Xin probably would have reacted very quickly. So it could have actually ended up backfiring quite horribly for Lee Sin anyway.
Yeah, that would have been a very dangerous play to make. Blackjack went in for the Dark Binding. If he'd have been hit by that, probably would have died. Didn't actually happen on that occasion, though.
Yep, so a lot of summoners have been burnt, a lot of aggression as well in the lanes, but still, it's Rain that are coming out supreme so far. However, we've seen this a couple times in the past. Last game they got the first blood on their jungler, and it still slipped through their fingers. So, Denial EU definitely have the better individual play. Top lane.
Did actually flash out and goes under the tower.
Wow.
He's fine. He's fine. It's okay. He just jumped out. But that would have been an opportunity for Elise to scumbag him by just not going there so he could jump out. Take like 3 extra tower shots. That's how you help your team to learn.
All mid.
Oh, indeed. There is another all-in going on right there. NIQ did survive it. So he's going to be okay for now. And I don't think Digger's going to go for that afterwards, but
Bot
NIQ
lane.
really is suffering. And in bot lane now, a fight happens, and I'm not there to watch it because I'm very alert.
It was just a case of not binding. That pretty much set up everything that happens. Zin was in a good position as well, so Nutri jumped on top of that one, and Reina's starting this game very, very confidently.
Yeah, we've never seen them completely win out their lanes before. They've always either come out kind of okay or behind, and maybe with that snowball advantage they can do something. Woolite has been bound here, taking a lot of damage. Queued up no mana, so didn't really have the follow-up though.
So this is really where Jinx suffers as an AD carry, is when you're against a support that knows how to play CC. It's difficult to do much because if you get caught by one CC, especially if you're against Lucian, you know there's going to be a lot of follow-up poke as well, and Woolite's Jinx is not going to excel in these situations. So, can Blackjack and Chewed Up keep this aggression going? Super Ace is going in.
Wow, he's actually just got the damage there, got the hook as well. Good prediction there, but we've got to be a little bit careful. Even with no mana, Chewed Up is still going to be doing quite a bit of damage on his autos. Has to flash out. They are chasing under the tower. Rocket doesn't get the kill. Woolite, though, tanking the tower. Flashes out. And, oh, Requiem. Bam. Blackjack lived.
And that explains why he went so aggressive, because that, for me, for a few seconds, I was like, dude, what are you doing there? There's no way that's kills on. And you had to burn your flash, but of course they've got the Requiem up for Karthus. That would have been pre-called. Pressure as much as possible at bot, I'll get the kill if you push them hard enough. And all the problems that Karthus had in the very early stages with LeBlanc, kind of going to subside if he keeps getting kills across the board from being able to just sit at spawn and ultimate.
He also almost took Warrior down into his passive form at the same time as nearly getting a double kill in the bot lane. So, yeah, I think we can rate that as one of the better Requiems we've seen. But certainly right now, that does put Denial much, much back into this game. Back on kind of equal terms.
Both junglers can actually meet up.
Yeah, indeed. Nutri does force the flash. He jumps to the pink and Digger face plants the wall. But it's okay. They weren't going to kill him anyway.
It's alright. It's alright. He now is thinking Digger is crazy, and you can't trust a crazy person. Oh my goodness, that burst though. That was just a couple of spells and chunked a third of his health away.
Yeah, you cannot allow LeBlanc to land a QW combo. That harass is too good for too little mana on too short of a cooldown, and if you keep tanking that, Karthus will go down in the end. So now NIQ, he's very much up against it, and when that ultimate comes back up, he's going to have to watch himself.
Well, that is certainly something that could be on the card soon, but the thing for me, though, is how is Elise going to do at top lane? Because we were mentioning this before, and so far, the answer is being given mid lane NIQ. He's
Gets
dead.
taken out.
Yep, there's not much more to say. Bot lane as well.
Oh, indeed, there is another all in there. Blackjack does get the first kill, gets taken down immediately by the Mega Death Rocket. Chewed Up is luring them towards Zin, who flashes in, picks up one. Chewed Up chasing down now as well with the culling at point blank range. They're not getting away from that one. And Nutri and Co will pick up that kill. They're going straight for the dragon now. There are several pings on it. Chewed Up seems to actually have a conflicting idea of whether they want to go for it, but doesn't matter. That was like a 4 for 1.
Yeah, that was just global dominance right there from Rain, but their top lane again is seemingly to me been their weak spot so far, and that's no disrespect to Warrior, but Babunia has just been crunching each game. Look at that CS difference, 28 to 68 at 9 minutes. That is colossal.
Really, really true. And Aatrox might be able to come back into it if it goes long enough, but without the kills, if that farm difference stays the same, I really, really don't see it. He does scale hard though, so maybe once he's out of the laning phase, he'll be able to pick up farm. And Elise, I'm really not sure about where she stands right now, because since her stun got buffed, she is actually a little bit stronger late game than she used to be. And now actually there's another attempt on NIQ's life. Not going to happen this time though.
Well, this is what I was talking about before. If you can land the Wall of Pain and follow up with a few layaways. Spot lane though, Chewed Up's caught, but Black Shield is going to stop that one pretty much dead in its tracks. However, Woolite and Super Ace starting to move ahead, and Blackjack lands the dot binding.
Yeah, Super Ace still under the tower, still tanking, but it doesn't matter. He's tanking for his AD carry, who will land the Mega Death Rocket and get the movement speed just to land one auto attack, but still another good fight there from Denial, and we do have the pause coming in from Rain, I believe. Oh, the door.
Someone at the door, and Warrior apparently needed to leave to answer the door. I don't know about that logic, but fair enough. So door and relogging, apparently there's a particle bug, which is a pretty common issue of League of Legends actually, so I can't really blame him. It's very irritating.
Yeah, most people normally will just ask for a pause and relog at the start of the game, but I guess Warrior just was like, nah, I don't really care. Blue particles, whatever, it's fine. Really bad when you get the one with where the minions, their auto attacks become flash icons.
Yes.
Makes it quite hard to last hit.
Yes, and when you get the huge blue squares on your map instead of summoner icons is horrendous because it's just these blue squares of blobs moving around the map. It's pretty confusing at times. Regardless, though, maybe you can blame that on the CS differential. Maybe it's going to be like, wasn't me, guys, particle bug, OP.
Yeah, he hasn't actually been being zoned out of this lane at all. He just can't last hit, can't see what he's doing.
Exactly.
In which case, he's actually done pretty well.
He's been a baller this game, 51 CS, but you have to subtract the particle effect, so actually he's probably about... Okay, he's about 40 CS behind then. We'll give him 10 off.
Alright, so he's still going to be very much up against it for now. Haunting Guy's picked up on Elise, and we do have the unpause coming in, so Meta's, like, at this stage of the game, what do you think Rain needs to do to try and secure their lead?
Well, Digger getting fed would certainly help that in mid.
Oh, indeed, and he doesn't, though. He gets turned around on pretty much immediately. Kikis coming over the wall from Wraith Camp, I believe. Still chasing this down. They've got Requiem. Is this going to be enough? He's got resistances. He picks up Chewed Up in the bottom lane, who I was not watching at all because of the mid lane fight. But he did do that.
Yeah, there was a lot of global action once again, and that's exactly what Karthus brings to the table. You're asking me what I think Rain eSports need to do to keep themselves in this game and indeed win it. Well, pretty much the reversal of what just happened. Not getting caught, not being over-aggressive, because you're against the Lee Sin. Lee Sin is one of the, if not the most mobile junglers in the game, so you can never truly tower dive unless you're totally confident in your own ability, unless you're completely confident there is no way you'll end up dying. And that was a huge mistake from Digger. Blackjack going in though.
Yeah, really in long way. Uses the Black Shield, keep himself pretty decent on health. Kikis does get bound as well. There is a ward which he used before to escape to. Multi-purpose pink ward there, but they are continuing to chase this. Dark Binding up in 3 seconds. Kikis continuing to make himself scarce, but you obviously have a very long cooldown on the W. You don't have so much on the Q, but will the white kill? No, it won't, but it does bring him low enough for Tormented Soil. Super Ace now actually does find Blackjack with the hook. Damn it, I should have made a Blackjack and Hookers pun there, but it doesn't matter.
That was your moment, but...
I missed it. I tried so hard to force it before, and then I missed it.
Super Ace landed the hook, but there was no one else there. He was Billy No Mates. And he's like, I don't really want to jump in now because I'm just going to die. So in the death center,
sending a message.
Yeah, it was. It was like the horse's head in the bed type deal. He's the Mafia now.
Wow.
There you go.
Dark very quickly.
There you go. Today you learned that Super Ace is in the Mafia.
You're going to wake up in a smoothie. Damn it! Oh well. So, right now, Rain not doing quite so well as they were maybe only a minute before, and Babunia actually kind of zoning Warrior to do a very strange circle around, but this could actually be a bait in the long term here. Babunia does have support coming in as well, though. Kikis is there. He's going to find Nutri. He is getting clamped down on here. He's been stunned. Jump straight on, but no way do you want to be in this situation. Nutri and Warrior are just way weaker. They do get the disengage, but Kikis still looking for it. He's landed the Q. He's going in. He's going to land the ultimate and get chased by Warrior, but totally worth it. Worth the flash. Gets the kill. Stylish.
He's
going in again. Oh my god, he's ham. He does get the flash out of Warrior. He could still potentially go for this. Q, if he can land it. No.
Thing is, though, that the passive is still up and available for Aatrox, so doesn't want to go too hard, and now Digger's coming in.
Yeah, that's going to be the kill from the Ignite there, so maybe a little too deep, after all.
Yeah, just going a bit too hard, a bit too far in. They've given LeBlanc 4 kills, and we all know, we all fear LeBlanc, especially when fed. That's a 4-on-1 Deathfire Grasp up LeBlanc. Now, if Digger can play safe, if he can manage to secure kills and then back away in time, he's got a real chance here at carrying his team.
Yeah, and he needs to do some carrying right now because bottom lane, in spite of their good early, has now fallen significantly behind. They are 10 CS and at least a kill's worth of gold as well. So that's not counting the global gold, that's not counting the dragon, that's not counting the tower. And it does look like Rain are going to respond by pushing this mid tower here.
Yep, they're going for objectives. It's very important they do that because you can see that even though there are kills ahead, they're still behind on gold by over 1,000. And that is the power of objectives. They need to rectify that problem. That's one of the issues with LeBlanc as well. Isn't the greatest tower pusher in the game. Speaking of which, is being aggressed on right now from Super Rays.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult to catch this, but obviously this is a Lee Sin we're talking about. He's got the Q, does jump in, going to land the E as well, follow that up, but Warrior's the one that gets caught out. I think he may have just face planted the wall at a very inopportune moment. Kikis continuing to chase this in, kicks Nutri towards his team, does get out in the tormented soil there. I believe Blackjack coming from below, didn't even see that coming. Culling in as well from the same direction as Blackjack. Now Woolite taking a ton of damage. Digger still sitting here looking for the kill on Woolite. Does pick that up. NIQ in a lot of trouble now. Gets taken down by Chewed Up in the end. And that was a 3 for 2. Digger 3 for 3. 4. 2 for 4. Numbers, counting, teams. I don't know what's going on.
Lots of kills. That's pretty much what just happened.
Stuff happened.
And on top of that as well, again, I mentioned previously that Rain need to be careful. They have the advantage, but you have to push it home. And LeBlanc got caught out of position, ended up getting taken down, and that was a lot of damage off the table and pretty comfortable, pretty easy pickings. And now Jinx has moved to 4 and 2. Karthus is 4 and 4. He doesn't care about dying because, well, he's Karthus, and that's pretty scary because they're just going to keep scaling harder and harder, and it's going to be difficult for Lucian to keep in close proximity to the fight without being completely instigated by the likes of Karthus.
Yeah, indeed. Now, this is a bit of a sticky situation here now for Rain. They are losing what grip they had on the game. The dragon is up and they do have vision control on that, so actually maybe they should be going for that. But if this continues at the pace it is, they are just going to fall further and further behind, and they need to make plays which utilize LeBlanc. Again, this means I've got to emphasize the dragon call here would be so good because it gives so many brushes in which LeBlanc could just jump out with a DFG and try and burst someone squishy down. Kikis is still squishy. He's low. They could be able... He's not low. He's got low comparative health. Maybe they could catch him out here.
They could, but the question is, do they want to?
Yeah.
Because if they do try and catch Kickers out, they're going to have the rest of the team to contend with him.
Oh boy, they managed to burst down Super Rays. Teleport coming in now from Babunia. He is in. Nutri is going to be out of here very shortly. Actually, no, he isn't. He does manage to flash over the wall and survive. Mega Death Rocket doesn't land. Chasing down onto Woolite now from Warrior. Does get the stun on that. Blackjack will not go down either from the flash there. Does manage to keep himself alive. NIQ does potentially get chased a little too far by Digger, but he will be okay for now. Got the counter engage now. NIQ want to come in on this. They're getting a lot of damage down. They've got the stun as well. Warrior dives back in with his dying breath. Does pick up... No, he doesn't. That was Babunia's repel. And LeBlanc also does trade 1 for 1, but does not get out for it with her life.
I gotta say though, that fight was just extended so much, but the early stages was horrific focusing from Denial EU. They may have caught out Lucian, he's gonna be alright, but at one stage in that fight, Xin, Morgana, Aatrox were all flashing up red, but LeBlanc and Chewed Up were both full health. And that's never a situation that you want to be in. You have to get rid of those carries because, well, the clues in the title, they're going to be able to take you all down. And but have better focus in the future here, guys, if you want to win this game.
Yeah, indeed. Now, can Rain actually take this dragon is the next question. Pits are very dangerous places when the enemy has a Karthus. He's one of those ones where you don't really want to be sitting with him in close proximity. Very smelly fellow. Nutri wants to go for this, but it's actually Digger that lands the CC. Doesn't really matter though, they get the burst, and now Blackjack actually also caught NIQ. They've exhausted him, but so is Nutri. They're going to continue to chase the kill. They will be able to pick it up with Lucian there, and they will back out with another couple of kills for their money. Nutri, though, will live, actually, through that Mega Death Rocket! Oh! Damn!
Oh, man. The irony is, if one of his players would have blocked it for him, he would have survived.
Oh, Digger's going for Woolite here. He will be able to just jump over and burst him down very quick.
Me. Yeah, if either Chewed Up or I believe it was Morgana was stood, actually...
Whoa, Kikis going ham. Gonna be trying for this. Doesn't get either of them. Kicked Chewed Up over the wall. Dark Binding misses. This will kill if he goes for it. It does actually land a chain, but that's not really a good response. Maybe he should have been running away. Maybe he was trying to take him closer to Chewed Up. Doesn't matter. Shut down gold. That was actually totally worth it for LeBlanc to die.
Well, that's... I don't understand why Kikis would have gone in there. Yes, you got the kill on LeBlanc, but you just stopped yourself being able to steal away Dragon, and their AD carry got the shutdown gold on you. Like, okay, not the player they've gone for.
Yeah, Super Ace is trying desperately to stop this Dragon. He may be able to steal it away at this rate. Chewed Up picks it up. Nutri is here, but they need to disengage because Karthus is here. That is not helping. You have not helped your team there. Blackjack goes down to the Karthus damage.
Hi, I'm Sid, I'm helping. He just knocks two very dangerous players on your squishy support, and yeah, thank you very much. Babuna at top.
Yeah, he's getting bursted down here. Got caught out. A little bit overconfident in his power there, maybe.
Yeah, again though, it's this very similar predicament that they're finding themselves in, where they're getting caught needlessly, and it's starting to hurt a lot more than they're expecting. Nutri's,
wow, yeah.
What's going on?
They were a little bit too keen, I think, there to go for Woolite, and ended up, like, while they were positioning to try and get some CC down, they took, like, half their health in damage, and then it's just one auto and a mega death rocket to kill. And in fact, they may be doing it again here. Blackjack does throw the binding down. It does land. Chewed Up. Oh boy, he is in a bad place there. But the Soul Shackles will hold off too while they try and kill off the other guys. But it doesn't really matter because they get the kill. Dark Binding goes on Woolite, and they will disengage with just one death there. Woolite now... sorry, Nutri is alive again. God, I have no idea what's going on in these fights half the time, but that's why I don't do play-by-play normally. Warrior now in trouble. Gets bursted down into his passive there. There is a binding for him on his feet. That's not a binding, but it is a root, so it doesn't really matter. Woolite now getting a lot of damage on him from Nutri. Digger has respawned and re-engaged, and he picks up one. And the Requiem's coming in. It's going to kill Nutri. It does. Oh boy.
What a strange game this has been, Spud. It's just been a league of throws. Never has that term been more apt than this game. One team gets ahead, they get their nose ahead, and then suddenly make an error and just needlessly die. And you got 41 kills in 21 minutes. That goes to show you how aggressive this game has been. And still only over 2k in the game. It's a very, very close game, but both teams are making a bunch of mistakes. Again,
yeah, indeed. And now
what's Karthus doing up there? I don't understand.
But Digger, why would you...
And why is Digger... What?
I just don't know. Blackjack wants Babunia. This could work for him, but no. Binding misses. Doesn't have the Soul Shackles in range or available, so nothing happens.
Oh man. I'm trying to figure out why Karthus was there in the first place, and then why Dig went back in. He got the kill, he went back in for seconds, was way too greedy. And again, it's just these situations.
I don't know, maybe he forgot that passive exists. But it doesn't matter. Warrior fighting Babunia here. Going to be actually just picking it up pretty summarily. Actually, maybe not. Flashes out. Does take the Lantern as well. That was kind of impressive, but they are going to chase this down anyway. We do have Blackjack flashing in, taking a lot of damage. And the knock over the wall there for Super A's. Nutri helps again. And there's a Death Rocket. There's a Death Rocket. It's going to hit. No, it's not.
It was close. Close but no cigar. That would have been a miraculous Death Rocket, though, traveling from the bot lane to the top. But Digger, again, is hot on pursuit for Woolite and is probably going to be able to catch up with him, to be fair.
He doesn't have the damage, though. He just used his ultimate to get over the wall. He's got no crowd control. He's got the Deathfire Grasp. It was actually enough to set up the kill for Chewed Up. So, good judgment call, Digger, because you knew Jinx would chase you.
Yeah, it did end up paying off, but that was expecting that Woolite would be very greedy again for the kill. And the bait only works if you get a bite, if you get a nibble. And Woolite, again, just nearly bit his hand off in that situation. And surely alarm bells were ringing. He couldn't think that Digger was that over-aggressive, that desperate for a kill, that he would pretty much just suicide himself.
I don't know, based on the previous patterns in this game, it's looking more and more viable. I mean,
anything's possible at this point.
Digger literally suicided earlier.
Yeah, okay, that's a fair point, actually. I'm thinking too logically in this game, aren't I? I should be thinking more random.
Yeah, it is actually true, though. I think games where there are more kills tends to lead to more kills, because not only does it create like patterns of expectation like that, but it also means people die, which creates places for you to push, which means that the enemy has to respond and commit people to those places as well. So you end up with a much more dynamic game when people are dying all the time. Digger Please stop.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't saying anything, because I was like, okay, Digger. It's Digger we're talking about. He could very well go in this 1v3. It wouldn't be completely out the realms of possibility, but no, he actually backs on the way this time.
It's even plausible for Digger, like, to get Mad Lifed in that situation. He wasn't, like, completely out of range. Got the Death Rocket. Hits Nutri, but takes him for about half his health, even though he wasn't on low health to begin with. Chewed Up taking a ton of damage, throws back. Culling does kind of just retreat out of the fight there, and we have the teleport in from Warrior, looking for the kill here. Requiem comes down. Nutri's going to go down to that, and Warrior will not, but he's continuing to try and fight the back line here. Digger jumps back in, gets exhausted, jumps out again, and there's kind of a disengage going on right now, but I'm not really sure. Kikis is not disengaging. He is actually re-engaging. Does get out, though, with the flash. So mobile. Don't binding. Might have actually been enough with the Death Firegrass debuff still on him.
Kikis has some supreme reaction speed. He dodged a number of skill shots there, and was able to keep himself alive. And if just one of them had landed, he was definitely a goner. And this is going to allow Digger now to go back in on Baboonia, and what?
Where are you going to go, Baboonia? This is a hard situation to get out of, and sadly not going to happen. Super Rays may have overcommitted to get the blue buff for his Karthus. Does flash out, though, so the Dark Binding doesn't land. Digger face plants the wall again. But they are in position for the dragon. But will they actually go for it? This is a pit, and they're really, really low. Warrior, it's aggroed.
They've aggroed it, and then they're just going to back away, because even though NIQ is quite low, he's still going to have to do a lot of damage even when he's dead. So they have to be super careful. Digger going in.
Oh, the hook does land even after the blink back there, but there's no follow-up. Nobody's got any bleeding mana at this point. Super Rays get bursted down, and now Chewed Up, Culling, chasing it down. Woolite taking a ton of damage off to the side and continuing, but not going to be able to get that. They will be able to get the dragon, though, at this rate, I'm assuming. I don't actually know, because so far the pattern has been trying to do something and then it doesn't happen, but then some other kills happen instead. Death Rocket. Every time.
Get ulted. It was a pretty safe ultimate, because they've got the ward. They knew that a bunch of players were low on health, so it's always a good ultimate to fire one out there. Warrior nearly gets caught by the cocoon. He's itching his back with his sword there, I think. That looked a bit weird.
What are you doing, Atrox?
It's got itchy back. There's no tree there to itch it again, so you just use this sword instead. Chewed Up should be dead here. Again, just overextending, overstaying his welcome. Baboonia's coming from the side, rest in peace.
Yeah, indeed. And it is, I don't know, if you're Atrox, it must be really hard to scratch your back. Because like, you've got those wings. Like, they're right in the way. Like, how do you wouldn't it block your arm when you're trying to get it round there? So you're like, I don't know.
It probably would.
Oh,
but
Digger.
he seemed to be okay there. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this is quite a risky game right now. Digger's playing. Let's hope he's got the mastery. I'm not convinced it's going to matter, though, because he ain't killing anyone right now. Digger gets bursted down very, very cleanly there. And Warrior has also been caught, and his dash gets cancelled. Oh, blimey. He's flashed for no reason and dies. What up, mate? Okay. I don't know what you're doing.
But again, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but Rain eSports, what are you doing? Why was Digger there? Why did he get caught? Why did Aatrox then get caught afterwards? And now why does Blackjack have to flash?
Why does Baboonia have to run straight into everyone? That's the other question. He's going to try and jump out, but no way is he getting out. Regardless, doesn't matter. They've got the Baron. Blackjack does survive. Mikhail's Crucible keeps him intact. Nutri gets caught by the hook. Requiem coming down. That is also Morgana falling off to the side. Nutri in a lot of trouble gets bursted down. Chewed Up trying to get a kill with the culling, but no, he is not going to survive. Triple kill for Woolite. And, yep, it does seem like Rain have effectively thrown.
I will say that I was a bit harsh on Baboonia there. I was thinking, oh, he got caught for no reason. Of course, he was trying to buy up time for the rest of his team to take Baron. That's indeed what they did. And a lot was expended just to get that kill on Baboonia as well. So that was a very easy clean-up. And they've got Jinx, the master of pushing towers. He's going to be able to take this tower down pretty comfortably. Digger's doing a bit of sneaky mechanical play, but it's not going to be enough to stop them from pushing down these objectives.
Ow, though. Ow. Kick is very nearly dropping and may actually drop to the Ignite. I'm not sure. Blackjack did just do something. I have no idea. Flashed in and exhausted and then ran away. Not really entirely sure what the purpose of that play was, but did make it. Didn't really achieve very much with it.
Yep, but they did get to both the tower and inhib as well. and are able to pull themselves back from this position. But Booney did teleport himself in that fight. And this is pretty clear sailing. It would take Denial a huge throw of epic proportions to lose from this position, but hey, they've been making some questionable plays. Boonies have been caught again here.
But maybe it's Nutri that the one being caught here. Death Rocket in the back for like a quarter of his, or maybe even a third of his health. And now Digger is going to have to dodge the zap when it comes, or not. He's just going to have to wait for it to miss on its own accord. But he is going to be running away. This is dumb! What are you doing? And there's also another fight. Blackjack has been caught. Fighting 3v1 NP. I am support with Soul Shackles though. AoE damage. I kill all. GG.
I don't like. Normally, I'd like to analyze the team fights, but what can you say?
Oh, gaudy lordy. This is. I wouldn't want to be Warrior right now. I mean, I don't know. Might be fun. Like, ooh, I wonder how long I can live for in this situation. Taking bets on the next like 10 seconds or so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Kick-Kiss! Kill him!
I think it's because he's got his... No, he doesn't have his blood well, so he could have killed him.
Yeah.
He's being a scumbag to you.
Rubbish. What is this? Kick-Kiss. He's going to go for Tudor? No, he's not. Kick-Kiss, you're just full of disappointments now to me, Kick-Kiss. I'm sorry this relationship can't work. Stun lands, chewed up in a lot of trouble, but it doesn't actually matter because Black Shield saves his life. Elise coming down, Requiem coming down too. Golden Spider says nope. But in the end, the Zhonya's has to end.
But even though they get the kill on Lucian, this is also stopping the side of Denial EU from pushing more objectives because they've lost 2 of their players. They still have Jinx, they still have Carthus, that's fine. Oh, Digger had to flash. Oh, that was close.
You felt the wind from that.
That would have been a kill anyway. Okay, GG.
Yeah. No worries. No worries. Jinx will carry. Okay. All you scrubs. Jesus. Oh, that was very... This game has been very much like solo queue, where no one does anything sensible, and we are going to be seeing Woolite now potentially not doing something sensible, but he might get the reset here. He gets out. Damage lands from the damage from Aatrox. It doesn't actually matter in the end that he got the reset, but Super A's going to be pulling in Carthus to work with and pulling in Warrior, but it doesn't matter because NIQ doesn't want Aatrox. He wants Morgana. He wants the support. Screw your top laner kills. I'm going for my kills rather than my passive kills.
Yeah, so again, Denial, you know, they went too aggressive. They got encircled. I have to say that Jinx played amazing there, actually. Woolite did a great job of kiting. Chewed up, please. Oh my goodness, I thought he was going to end up dying. Here comes Digger.
Ow.
What's NIQ doing? I don't understand.
Ow. That hurts. That hurts to see. Well, you know, yeah, there's gameplay going on. This Kick-Kiss looking for Q. Doesn't land it.
I can't analyze or piece together what's happening because you actually hit the nail on the head there. This is like solo queue. This is literally like Diamond 3 solo queue right here. And I don't really know what to say. I think both teams are just having a bit of fun, which is all well and good, but this game really should have been finished off about 5-10 minutes ago from Denial EU. They should have collapsed on LeBlanc, who made a lot of mistakes. Digger made a lot of lapses in concentration, and they should have super punished this game, but they've been caught a number of times and they've just given more lifelines over and over again.
Yeah, it is definitely true. I mean, I think Rain might just give up even if they were to win this game, because we did actually see a surrender vote from them earlier, failing 3-2. But I think maybe they're just having some fun while the game lasts, and obviously at the point where you've decided you're not really gonna win the game anyway, the fact that it's a competition sort of ceases to matter because you're not gonna win the prize anyway. I guess. That's my guess.
Yeah, I don't see players of this caliber making this many mistakes unless they're just kind of chilling out and having a bit of fun, treating it as a scrim, something like that perhaps. But it's a bit of a shame because they are playing for money, they are playing for, you know, this tournament, and therefore there's a certain level that you expect to see, and that's not ragging on either of these sides. I just feel Denial EU have been a very good team recently, and uncharacteristic mistakes from them. It's very surprising to me to see this.
Yeah, but I guess if they're not trying, it's not going to be the same team. Effectively, Nutri there does knock them back over the wall. Kickers jumps out, and we have the engage from Blackjack solo going ham. Doesn't get anything done. Now we have Digger jumping out of the way of the hook, just surviving. But Woolite, he's on cleanup crew. He's on actually getting jumped on by Nutri, but he's just doing so much damage and has so much lifesteal, and his team has so many shields. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And there we go, Inhib going down. Actually, whoa, Digger. Ah, death. But not enough death, sadly.
not
that was play-by-play right there.
Not enough death, so you wanted him to revive then die again.
Death, but not enough death. Said in a stupid voice. That's the other important fact.
Well, I guess we are casting Karthus, and he is, I guess, death after death he kind of has with his passive.
I guess. I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah, he's giving out death after his
And
death.
we also have Aatrox, who has his passive as well, Bloodwell.